Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about what is your enemy planning? What are they plotting? Who they are? Who's putting evil eye on you? And what you can do about it. So we're just going to get into that and figure out what you can do about people who are not so good to you, my soul friends. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is, your spirit guide's coming forward to give you advice, or it's just your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. And no matter how you look at that, it's healthy and you're in the right place. So first off, before we get into too much, a card came out for the collective. The cards we will be using today are, and the oracle deck is, I'll put a link for this in my description box as soon as I can. I haven't been able to get more than just the timestamps in there lately because I don't know what's going on. Every time I upload a video, it like scrambles. It'll put timestamps for another video that I just uploaded previously, or it won't put them at all. It's just a pain. And so I've been just making sure to get the timestamps right, and that's been taking all the uploading and re-uploading I have to do because I'll upload a whole video and then it just doesn't play. And so I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping they'll update things soon. But regardless of all that, I will get the links put in there for you as soon as I possibly can. I'm just trying to keep up with one video a day, and it's been hard enough to do that with all the problems I've been experiencing. Hint, hint, YouTube, do better. Okay, so anyway, this card came out for the collective. So let's go ahead. I'm going to say this is just general advice about this situation. Breathe. Okay, so I feel right off the bat with this card that a lot of people are feeling like anxiety over this. And I totally understand that because whenever I feel like somebody's gunning for me, my PTSD and overblown survival instincts and my overactive, what do you call it, parasympathetic nervous system really thinks that like they're actually gunning for me, right? Like they're actually going to come and try to ruin me or kill me or hurt somebody I care about. And, you know, I watch too much true crime. And the people that do that stuff are always the people you know. And so anyway, I totally feel that if you've got the anxieties over this. So your first message as a collective is to breathe. Okay. Relax, breathe. Your guides are here for you. And we're going to live shuffle to see who this person is and how you're going to deal with them. Okay, so we're just going to live shuffle for all of you until I get as many cards as I feel like you need. I'm actually not going to do clarifiers today. We're just going to give you the cards that you get and do the oracle. Hello, hello. Yes. Okay. Your guides are like, we got this, Miriam. You don't have to shuffle so much. Like, alrighty. This one got an extra card, but we're going to go with it. All right. And then we have cute little charms for you to pick from. Group 1. You have this very adorable little snowman. He also looks a little concerned. He's either concerned or full of wonder. I can't decide. Probably depends on how it makes you feel. Group 2. You got the silver bells. Silver bells. Okay. Group 3, you got this wreath with this weird little, I think they wanted it to be some kind of a gingerbread man, but then it was too small. Like, it was like, I feel like it was supposed to be incredibly detailed, and then something went wrong. I'm not sure. It looks kind of like a weird little, I don't know what it looks like, but there's a little gold bell in there for you as well. So if you like things that are just a little different, that might be the pile for you. And then group 4, you got the little light green Christmas tree. We had a dark green Christmas tree a while ago. If you like these Christmassy cards, go ahead and check out my other readings. We have a ton all for the month of November. Or, I'm sorry, December. My autumn cards are the ones I used in November. I don't know where I am anymore. Okay, let's go ahead and just kind of twist that so you can see it straight. And we will see you in your individual readings, my friends. Bye. Group 1. So after filming your little reading, it turned out there was like 3 different scenarios in there that were quite lengthy. So I'm going to go ahead and label them and give them timestamps as well in the description box as a little sub underneath the group 1 thing. So it will look a little bit funny when you're clicking on things. I'll put a little note on that in the description box as well. But I'm just going to put this at the very beginning of your reading so that you don't feel like, ugh, she's never going to get to my group. Because I did get to all of you, but like all of you are like 20 minutes long, I swear. So it's like just better that we do it this way. So check your timestamp once you see your energy check at the beginning of the video. And then you'll know which one of those scenarios you belong to, or if you're in the wrong group entirely, and then you can click on the timestamp to go to that particular scenario within that reading. So it's like a pick a card within a pick a card kind of. So, okay, thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked the either odd or concerned snowman, let's go ahead and find out who this person is and what are they up to. We have the child or the fool. 7 of Swords. 3 of Pentacles. And how do you say that? The Mari lewd? Sounds very lewd. I don't know how to say that, y'all. I'm going to have to Google that later and find out how that's supposed to be pronounced, because holy heck, I have no idea what that is. That's the High Priestess, in case you're wondering. Actually, I'm too curious. I'm going to check this now. I want to know how we pronounce this. And if you can't hear it, I'll let you. Mari lead pronunciation. Here we go. Lord's sake. There's an ad.
How to pronounce this name from Welsh folklore and tradition, designating a hobby horse, which is made from a horse's skull, mounted on a pole.
Wow, this is getting really...
How do you go about pronouncing it? In Welsh, this is said as Mari Lloyd. Mari Lloyd. Therefore, in English, it is usually said as Mari Lloyd.
Okay, I will put a link for that in the description box for you. If you didn't hear it, it's Mari Lloyd. I got that from How to Pronounce, what's it called? Julian Miguel is the name of the person who posted this video. Okay, so I'll put a link for them in the description box. Mari Lloyd. Okay. I don't know if you could hear the little description of that. I hope so, otherwise it was a lot of dead air. I'll have to watch back and see what it sounds like. All right. So let's start with the Fool. Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. I feel like for some of you, this is a person that did you dirty with that 7 of Swords, possibly an ex who cheated on you. And so you were like, F this, I'm mobile. That's a movie quote, by the way. A Christmas movie. But anyway, he said, F this, I'm mobile. And yeah, they actually said F this, not the actual full. It was a PG-13 film. Anyway, somebody who cheated on you and you actually figured it out. I feel like it's also somebody who was like trying to deceive you and manipulate you and like groom you into being somebody that would just constantly be in that mold for them forever. and you got wise and you didn't just, and you left, right? But you didn't just leave. You like told them like, I know all about you. I know what you are. And they were like, oh, how dare you call me out on my own BS. I'm going to get you kind of feeling, okay? I feel like, is there anybody else, Spirit? I feel like some of you share a child with this person, and I feel like they kind of mess with your finances. For those people that are, you know, not everyone, but for some, that's the storyline that's coming through. What else are we talking about with this? For others, it could be someone you work with, because Three of Pentacles is about people you work with. It's generally about people who you work with well. And so I feel like this coworker is like jealous of you. And I always go, ee, when people say, oh, they're jealous of you, because I'm like, that's such a cop out. Now, if I tell people they're jealous of me and that's why they hate me, they're just going to think I'm conceited or at least self-absorbed. I don't know. And so so if I bristled at it, some of you are bristling as well. People get jealous of all kinds of people for all kinds of different reasons. And sometimes that reason is you, my friends. So just, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're conceited to like see things for how they are. What I usually do to try to snap myself out of that is I try to say to myself, can you tell when somebody's jealous of someone else? And I bet the answer is yes. Like, I have no problem calling somebody out when I know they're jealous of somebody, right? Especially if it's like a looks thing. If I see somebody giving like a young, pretty, like, you know, girl or boy a hard time, and I know it's because they're jealous, I call them on it so hard, and I call them on it right in front of that poor kid and say, how dare you? How dare you? So I do feel jealousy. I think what they're jealous of is that you get along so well with others. Maybe you're a little bit newer, and so they don't feel like you should have as much clout as they do, but you're gaining that clout because you're such a pleasant person. What else am I getting here? And then maybe, let me ask my pendulum real quick. Spirit, am I interpreting that other message about the child correctly? They're saying no, so I'm not going to say that one. There's something about, like, I don't feel like anybody's kids are, like, gunning for them. Let me know if your kids are, like, if you're having, like, an issue with your kids. Because, I mean, that stuff can happen. But I don't, they said no. It's like there's some kind of a thing with the Fool, and I'm not sure. Oh, let me ask this. Okay, I got it this time. Okay, so it's somebody who, it's kind of the same kind of energy as this, but I do feel this is like a third person. It's somebody who seems to think that you have, this does bleed into the coworkers though as well. And in some way it bleeds into this cheater vibe as well, or this deceiver vibe. The Fool is just starting their journey, right? They're leaping into their life. They're unafraid. They're just going for it. They have protection. Things are working out for them because they're not fighting the universe. They're going with the universe, right? And some people, for some of you that are watching, that are in your life, are very much jealous of that perception they have of you. And again, this is their perception. This is not necessarily reality, right? You might be like, but I'm not even that good looking. How could somebody be jealous of me, right? Or I don't feel like I do get along with people at work. How could somebody be jealous of me? It's their perception, okay? And the perception with this card that I'm seeing is that things seem easy for you, or that you seem blessed and lucky, when this other person feels like they aren't blessed and lucky. I'm going to call it. I'm not feeling that any of you are related to these people by blood, I do feel like some of you, this might be an ex-husband or even an ex-wife. I guess gender doesn't have to matter. I'm getting a male energy for sure. But you know, you can flip them if you need. Just somebody that, you know, that they feel like, because you're not under their thumb, that like it angers them when they see you doing well. They want you to like not be able to survive without them, to go crawling back to them, and accept their terms, which are very one-sided, you know? So like if this was a cheater, right? And it doesn't have to be infidelity. I mean, that's like the main thing that I'm talking about. But it could just be somebody who's very manipulative, conniving, lying, and, you know, gaslighting, just that really like controlling energy where they want you to be at their beck and call and not the other way around. You're the one that has to make sacrifices. You're the one that has to do the work. And you're also the one that is constantly told you're coming up short. Okay. And so that being said, somebody said it might not even be conniving, or at least it might not have been at first, but like now they're kind of conniving because you left. You figured them out and you abandoned. They might have even said, "You're abandoning me." You know, like, gross. People like that are awful. Like, so, okay. And like your guides are saying intuitively, you pretty much know who it is, or you intuitively know why. They're also just saying, for those of you who are very anxious, your intuition is strong and it will put you in the right path, including keeping you safe if you feel like you're unsafe. I'm going to say this again as a disclaimer. If somebody's threatening you, making you feel unsafe, making you feel like maybe they're going to come and unalive you even, you need to report it to somebody and tell somebody. Don't go off of this, because this isn't a serious channel. We do very lighthearted readings as much as we possibly can, and we do a lot of comedy. So you need to get help if somebody is making you actually feel like your life is in danger, or, you know, other legal things. You need to ask for help. Intuitively, you should know one way or the other, and that's something coming through for all of you. I always say that if you're not sure where to even turn, like, this just popped into my head. I heard like a voice of someone saying, "I can't go to the cops. They're all friends with the cops," or something like that. I always feel so bad for people when they end up in a situation like this, and then this person ends up being like a legal person that can like mess with them more for leaving. I've seen it a lot, and it's also like really messed up to use their power that way, because, you know, there are people that go into like those legal and law enforcement type positions out of a sense of honor and duty, and like that just like smears it everywhere for everyone. And so interesting that came through. I don't know where that came from, but it must have been relevant to somebody. If it wasn't, just let it go. You know, like if you were like, "I don't think they would hurt me. Oh my gosh, they're gonna hurt me." Don't do that to yourself. That's not okay. I need some grounding here. I'm gonna put on a grounding bracelet. Since there's one sitting right there, I'm gonna put it on and use that. Isn't that cute? I don't even remember where I got it. It was really cheap. I should say really inexpensive, because it's actually real stones. It's very, very cute. Okay, anyhow. Yeah, somebody jealous because things look easy for you in life in general. That goes along with these people at work, but it could just be people at work. And then this is like somebody who, if you share a child, they kind of mess with the custody arrangements, the child support arrangements, you know, where's the kid going to be with whom, and etc. and so forth. Like, it just feels like that's the kind of stuff that I'm getting here. Yeah. This doesn't feel like a family member. It definitely feels like either a coworker for this one as well, or it's somebody that you just, like a friend or a mutual friend of other friends. I am getting like small town vibes, or like small you know, a small knit community. So if you work somewhere that everybody kind of lives there, I always think of like healthcare, because like so many people work such long shifts when they're in healthcare, and you end up like spending more time with your coworkers than you do your own family sometimes. Ooh, and then I just heard theater. Oh my gosh. Tell me if you're involved in theater, and like you don't have to tell me any more than that. I already know the drama is through the roof. And here's the deal. I loved theater. I did theater for a long time, but some people just can't separate themselves from the dramatics when the camera's not rolling or when the curtains are called. It's just so like, ugh. You know, like no offense to method actors, but go method over there. I can't stand to be around people that are interacting that way. So anyway, all the method actors immediately unsubscribe. I'm sorry, come back. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. So let's get some advice other than trusting your intuition. Let's get some advice on what your guides want you to do. I'm going to get one for each situation. And then I'm going to get one. And then I'm going to get one for advice. And then we'll pull more if we need. Oh, I see 3 right here. So maybe that's all we need for the advice. We'll see. Okay. So group who is somebody who's jealous of you about how your life is going overall, thinking everything's just so easy for you. Here's your advice. Wish. You know what's interesting about this card is we just had the winter solstice. We're getting so close to these cards all going back to regular non-holiday themed cards. They will still be season themed, however. So if you were enjoying the winter looks, I have winter cards that are not Christmassy or Yule or holiday-y, whichever ones you like to use. Anyway, and so we'll be using those quite a bit. Probably all up until March, because that's how long winter lasts where I am. I don't know how it is for everyone else. So yeah, I'll be using winter themed cards during. You can always tell how my weather's doing if you watch my channel. All right. A wish. So some of your guides are saying to not so much make a wish. I think some of you actually are really strong manifestors, and you have had wishes come true by just saying, I wish this. And that's cool. I've done that before. And it's, it works. I'm going to give you this little tidbit because my guides and your guides are saying, go ahead and share this with you. It's kind of a manifesting spell, a rhyme to say. And so if you're not interested, just go ahead and scroll forward until I like pick up the next card or whatever. But, I'll pick this card up when I'm done. So I was such a negative minded kid, and I still am. Like, I feel like if I think positively, something's going to jinx me. And I've learned over the course of my study, and now I'm getting super old, like I'm finally coming around to the idea that it's better to think positively no matter what. And it's hard. I'm not able to do it all the time. So when I was a kid, I would actually think of like weird negative spells to do that would still work in my favor. So this is what I used to do. I used to not sleep a lot. So I saw a lot of dusks. And I would wait until I saw the last star I could see in the sky. And I'd say, starlight, starbright, last star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might not have the wish I wish tonight. And I would wish for anything that I didn't want to happen to not happen. So I'm hearing something along those lines. I'm also hearing the bottle spell, put the person's name in a little salt water bottle. Tiny, it can be tiny, or a film canister, it doesn't matter. An old Benadryl bottle works just fine. Put it in the salt water, a little white piece of paper with their name written on it, and then you just put it in the freezer. And as it freezes, that person just sort of forgets to bother you. If it doesn't work, it usually means you're still hanging on to them for some reason, or you just weren't, focused enough and you just need to try again. It's super effective. It's called the bottle spell. Everybody knows it that does magic. Even people who don't do magic still do it. Like everyone in town I've told about it. I remember the first person I ever told called me back and were like, "It works?" Question mark. And I was like, "Did it work?" She's like, "I think so." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised." And now the whole town knows. We've all got names in our freezers at this point. I'm probably in a freezer or two. I'm probably not. I'm not a meddlesome person. There's people who don't like me for sure, but like I don't think there's anybody out there that thinks I'm gonna go bother them. Because I'm definitely not. Okay. But yeah, making a wish. Making a wish, or like imagining the best case scenario coming forward. I feel like, oh yes, this came through for you as well. This idea of whatever you do with your little wishes, however you wish, like you might just ask your creator, or like I'm like, just say the word pray. You might pray to your creator and just ask what you want, and maybe that's what brings things to you. That's awesome. So yeah, when you make your wish, some of you need to wish for you to have the strength and the ability to either confront this person and try to work it out with them. And if some of you are like, absolutely not possible, there's a message for you guys. If you're not confronting to try to work out, they're saying to wish for the strength and the guidance for that person's meddling negativity. And I feel like maybe in some cases, like just the fact that they don't like you for no good reason bothers you. Oh, that's relatable. I totally understand, because I'm like, I could understand if I did something to you, but I never did anything to you. They're like, I just don't like how you laugh. And then I laugh. It's fine. That is my genuine laugh, by the way. There's nothing I can do about it. And so I would get so angry of like, there's lots of people that kind of rub me the wrong way, or, you know, maybe they're kind of annoying, or just their personality type is kind of odd, and I don't know how to, I feel awkward around them, but like, I don't just like hate them because of it. And so when people do that to me because of my oddities and my strange little quirks, I get butthurt about it. Like, well, why don't they like me? I feel like the little kid on the playground that nobody will pick to play tetherball. You know, like you didn't even get picked last. Like they didn't even invite you to play tetherball. That's what it makes me feel like. I'm going to be raw and genuine today. It hurts my feel bads. So wish for the strength, either for it not to bother you as bad anymore, or the strength for you to confront them and be like, you're treating me unfairly and this is going to stop. I'm telling you to stop, especially y'all, if it's at work. Because if you're at work and somebody's doing that to you to the point where it's causing you anxiety and making it hard, maybe you're dreading to go to work every day because they just keep like, I'm seeing somebody like undermining you in front of other people. It would be like the equivalent of like if I was teaching a class and another teacher came in and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're teaching it that way. You know, stuff like that's happened to me. And you better bet your patootie I went and found that person. Like, I don't appreciate you barging into my classroom and like saying these things to me. And usually they would get very wide-eyed and be like, you're right, I apologize. It's because I'm such a goofy, laughable person that like they think that like some things are funny and that I'm just never ever like serious. And it's like, no, I took my job pretty seriously as a professional. I'm a smart cookie. I was a good teacher, and just because I'm a little quirky and different doesn't mean that I didn't know my material and my curriculum. So call them out, right? Especially if they're doing it in front of other people. Do it right in front of them. Be calm about it. You know those little stoicism videos on YouTube? It all has the same AI voice. Or maybe it's a real guy's voice that they just stole and turned into AI. I'll link one in the comment box. Or link one in the description box. I need to start writing these down because there's a couple of different ones. Okay, the stoicism. I'm just going to make a tab. YouTube. Okay. And I'll link one of those in the description box. One of the ones I've watched so that the credit goes to the person that taught me. Okay. That there was this awesome one I listened to where it was like how to call somebody out on being extremely disrespectful to you in front of other people. Like when they say something just outlandishly awful and like maybe they pass it off as a joke, or maybe they're just staring at you like, what are you going to do about it? You know, like just totally confrontational, just from like 0 to 11 in no time at all. And you sit there and go, ba-da, 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 because there's all these people watching. The advice on that one was like, don't say anything at all. Be nice and quiet and just stare at them in the eye. And then say, I'm going to need you to repeat that. And then everybody looks at them and they go, oh, da-ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Now, if they actually have the audacity to say it again, because maybe they are being like extremely confrontational, then you come back with another question like, are you saying that to embarrass me? Are you saying stuff that it's nobody else's business here and now everybody's feeling uncomfortable and our good time is just all of a sudden screeched to a halt because you want to hurt me for some reason? And then no matter what they stammer out, you just dead eye them for a good like 5 to 7 seconds longer. Pick up your stuff calmly, say politely good night to all of you. I appreciated seeing all of you, and have a good night. And then dead eye them one more time and walk out the door. Effective. Okay. So yeah, that was an advice thing that came in. I'll try to find that exact video where he explains that exact thing, because, when I heard that, I was like, I almost can't wait for somebody to do that to me. I'm like, I wish I would have like seen it sooner when I was like around people more, because I'm not around people at all anymore except you guys. So it's better. But I just, I want to do it so bad now. Okay. For the cheater guy, yeah, clarity. And she's got her little dragons. Dragons are all about transformation and freaking power. I almost cussed because I'm so excited. I love cussing. That's one of the things we're like, don't cuss. It's like, it's going to bring more negativity to you. And man, if that's true, I'm just, because here's the deal. I don't want to stop. And the reason why is because it feels so good. Like I feel such a release from it. Like I feel like whatever poisonous energy I've taken into myself is being dispelled. Sorry if you heard me. Here's some TMI for you. If you heard that noise, it was me ripping off a bunch of toilet paper because I prefer to blow my nose with that. The other kind that you buy, the tissues. I can't say the other one that starts with a K, or I'll probably get in trouble when they check for copyright stuff. The tissues usually have some sort of softener in them, and it like weakens the skin on my nose, and then I get raw nose. Whereas if I use just regular toilet paper, it doesn't do that to me. So that's why I use it. But it's embarrassing when you have a roll of that in your purse. People they just automatically assume it's for something else besides blowing your nose. I can't imagine why they would think that. You have clarity. You gained clarity about this person. Like you figured out, I feel this, I've gone through this so many times where you're looking at that person and you're just like, there's not even, it's like that song, No Need to Argue. There's no reason to even do it because they're either not hearing you, not able to process, not even capable of communicating in that fashion, or they are so twisted into no matter what, I'm always going to stick to my side of the story so that I look like the good guy so I can trick more people. Narcissism, psychopaths, what else do you call them? Sociopaths, right? There's no point talking to them either, because they're always going to twist it back around to you. They're always going to say, that's not what happened, and it's just a waste of breath. They know what they're doing, and they know you know. My favorite thing to say to them is just, I know what you are, and you need to stay away from me. And they go, oh, what's that supposed to mean? You're crazy. I'm like, yeah, F around and find out how crazy. So anyway, like get lost. And then I put them in the freezer, right? So that transformation is like clarity. And like, look how she has her back to him and he's still up to his same tricks. Okay. And switch the genders. If it's a conniving woman, it's fine. There's all kinds of, garbage comes in all shapes and genders, right? Okay. So yeah, I love that clarity aspect. And they're saying just hold on to that clarity. Don't let people cloud it. People love, even when they're trying to help, they love to make people doubt themselves. Are you sure? This person definitely likes you to doubt yourself, but even the people in your life like you to doubt yourself. Okay. And don't worry, people that did this, we're going to get to you eventually. I'll put something in the description box about that. Okay. So anyway, they want you to doubt yourself. They want you to, constantly like think maybe they're right. And then you have to look for approval from someone else to make a decision. It's a very dangerous place to put yourself. I've been there. I've just started making executive decisions on my own outside of work. Okay. I had to do it at work. But I remember my mentor teacher telling me like, hey, Miriam, eventually you're going to have to make an executive decision. I was like, ow. But it's because I'm such a people pleaser and she was always in the room. They said she was supposed to leave the room more. So I'm going to throw her under the bus there, but there wasn't really anywhere else for her to go. And she wanted to work on things. She was good at staying out of it mostly. Okay. But yeah, I had to start making executive decisions at work. And I was still a real wussy cake about it for a long time. We get a new principal and I just wussy cake around him. Is that okay? And it's like, oh gosh. Pretty soon I realized like that principal doesn't even care. They don't even want to hear about this. They're already dealing with like 10,000 other things a day. I don't even know how anybody does that job. Poorly, generally, is how they do it. But like, I'm trying to forgive them because I couldn't do that job. I would probably lose my mind. So anyway, yeah, having that clarity about who you are and being able to make executive decisions for yourself. Nobody's there to tell you. It's like when you're a parent that you always got advice from, like when they pass away or they get so elderly, like that they can't make sense of the world anymore and they can't tell you anymore what to do. It's such a painful time because you're like, where do I turn? And like some people, you'll see them are so embedded in that they can't let go of the fact that they lost that person. They just walk around sad about it forever. And like, we're always sad about it forever, but we're supposed to try to go on, right? And we still can evolve. And like, we didn't need them to make our decisions for us or to tell us what to do. We just trusted them that much, right? And so I feel like you're kind of stepping into that power of like, I'm covering these cards up, right? With that power. I feel like you are moving into that, like, there's no one here to tell me what to do. So I'm just going to do what feels right for me. Bam, that's awesome. Like, I love that for you. And I'm seeing you like not sort of be so slow to process when somebody does something inappropriate around you. You are recognizing it faster. That's going to continue as long as you keep holding on. And don't beat yourself up on the times you slip. Okay? You know how many, like, I could count just like a couple of months ago, I bada all over myself when really I should have just said, you're a deceiver. Like, you're a deceiver. Be gone from me, vile man. It's just like a customer service representative. Be gone from me, vile man. Be gone, deceiver. Okay, y'all, I'm going to say that to somebody. Maybe I'll record it and just bleep out our names and the name of the company and just let you guys listen to it. Let me know if you'd like me to start doing weird stuff like that. I've got nothing but time. But I love that for you. And that's why you're transforming. See, like, this is obviously like going to remind me of that Game of Thrones situation with like that pretty lady that had the hair and the pretty eyes, and she's walking on her hair, blinking her, she's walking around, flipping her hair and blinking her eyes. And she's like got these cute little dragons, and then horrible stuff happens to all of them. But anyway, you know, because everybody in that show suffered so greatly, including me as it moron. I'm pretty picky about how series do their thing. But anyhow, quiet. Anyway, her dragons are just learning how to fly at this stage, I believe, in the film. They were about that size. That was when they were the cutest, right? That was like their puppy stage. So, you know, they were like learning how to cook their own meat. I thought that was a cute little twist that the dragons would use their fire to cook their meat. They didn't like it raw. Unless it was a person. I think they still flamed them first. I can't remember. Anyway, let me know if they flamed them first in the comments. And use that phrase. Did they flame them? So yes, they flamed them. I'll know what you mean. Okay. And I'll bless you in my heart for being hilarious like me. Okay. So for last but not least, the poor people that had to wait all this time, I'm going to try to figure out, I'm going to put a timestamp in there, but I don't know how to warn you. So maybe, okay, I'll do a little video at the beginning and I'll warn you that this is long. And then I did timestamps just for these. Okay. So for the people who are dealing with that coworker that was both this kind of energy for some of just like being jealous of how you are at work, and then it also bleeding over into like your personal life if you're that tight knit of a workplace that they kind of know more about your personal life than some other occupations afford. For example, the occupation I'm in, nobody knows about my personal life if I don't tell them. You guys know more about my personal life than the people I work with. Unless I work with them and they watch this show. Lisa! Anyway. I love you, Lisa. She might not even pick this pile. But I can tell her to go watch it. Everybody say, I love you, Lisa, in the comments because she's awesome. Go watch her Spotify. We're all psychic. All right. It's a podcast. This person, I'm definitely getting school vibes. And I don't know if that's just because my dumb brain only works one way because I only ever had one career. And so my guides are just showing, because there's so many occupations that people tell me about that I'm like, I don't even understand what it is you do. Even after they tell me about it, I have a friend that I've been friends with for 15 years. I just kind of figured out what she did for a living. So anyway, I had to Google it. I was like, I'm just going to Google it because I have no idea what she does for a living. I did that around year 7. But to my credit, it took me until like year 4 before I even asked her what she did. And she just knew what I did because, you know, I taught her kids and it was a small town. And so everybody just assumed everybody knew what everybody does. I don't know what anybody does here. And even if they told me, I'd be like, oh, I don't know what you do there. You know, I don't know what that job entails. So if I'm getting something wrong there, just forgive me and just splice in the information as it would work for your workplace. I don't think I've ever explained that before to people. And now you know why. Okay, so there's this jealousy that you do your work well. And notice how she has this little, it reminds me of those little scarves that women wear in certain cultures, and they do it for modesty, and also for like a religious, you know, like purpose. And so that to me feels like you're very honorable at work, and this person, like, that's part of why they feel jealous of you. And they wish that you would just get knocked down a peg or two by your own doing, but you won't because you're actually like genuine. And because the reason they can't see that about you is because that's not how they are. And so they can't picture anybody else feeling differently. They think everybody's lying. They think everybody's got an angle somewhere. Like, for example, and this might be something that specifically happened to one of you, maybe they were complimenting your hair, or they complimented somebody else's hair around you, and the person or you said, oh, that's my natural color, because it is. And they were like, oh, you know. Tell me if that's ever happened to you in the comments, because that's actually happened to me before and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my stars. This is happening right now. This is like something that happens in an after school special. Like the tense music is supposed to start. People are ridiculous. So anyway, sorry, my table's trying to get away. So they just expect everybody else to kind of be a liar. And so it's like they want to catch you. The fact that they think they're starting to even maybe suspect that that's not how you are, that bothers them too, because then that like threatens them on a soul level of like, have I been doing my entire life wrong? And nobody wants to feel that way. They also don't want to do the work to change, because if they do the work to change, people might notice and then they might have to admit they know what they did was wrong. It's so sad. If they would just do it, they would feel so much better and everybody would like them more, but here we are. Silly little goose. All right. And yeah, their perception of life being easy for you is just their perception, this coworker. I feel like even if you are a tight knit, like you haven't really told them enough for them to actually even know if that's true for you. And I'm going to say right now and call it like it isn't true. I think you're good manifestors. I think that you can make the best out of bad situations because you're a positive, honorable person. Okay. I feel like a lot of you like have a very strict moral code or a very high reverence for like your belief system, and you don't stray from it as much as possible. And people like that are jealous, there's not really a card to represent that person right now. They can't fathom that. And so when I think about it that way, it makes me not hate them as much and makes me kind of feel sorry for them. But I still hate them anyway. Hate is wrong, I guess, but it's natural. So I should use a different word. That word's gotten a lot of taboo. For good reason. But yeah, it almost can't be used as a description anymore. They're going to like stop letting us use it on YouTube. Okay. I had a teacher that was like that way back. This is way back in the like 80s that would like make you write an essay about how you shouldn't say hate or stupid about anything. And I was like, yep, it's important to him. So hopefully he's not watching right now, because that would be embarrassing. He'd be very disappointed in me if I said I hated somebody on my show. Sorry, Mr. Harrington. But anyway, so these guys are... This whole thing about your life is a total misconception. Like, I feel like they think your house is always clean and you just like la-ti-da-ti-da around your house and like everything's all picture perfect and you're such a little phony, blah, 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 and like nothing bad ever happens to you, and that you retain this like weird innocence that they also somehow resent because you haven't been broken down so bad that you're cynical. Wow. This person needs to retire. How old are they? I am getting female vibes from them. Kind of across the board for this group. So let me know if I'm wrong and it was a guy, because I like to hear feedback. Okay. For your advice. Adventure. Well, this is interesting. Oh, something just popped into my mind. I'll tell you in just a sec. Looks like you got 2 cards. Everybody else just got 1 so far. Strangey. Confidence. Okay. So, man, some of you don't want to hear this right off the bat. And like, please don't get too anxious. It's not super bad, but like, I still know that some of you are going to be like, no. And I would too. There's going to be some kind of little, those professional development things people have to do. And so if you don't have those kinds of things, I'll get to you in a second. If you have them, you know what they are. They round you up and they take you somewhere and you have to like interact and play stupid people games with your group, like making marshmallows and spaghetti sticks, stand up really tall, working together, but you can only use the other person's hand, that kind of stupid crap. Can I say crap? Well, I just did. Nothing. There's no lower. There's no lower way to spend your day. I've never added up the hours I wasted doing that garbage. Like, ugh. But I'm sorry. Tell me in the comments if you're one of those facilitators that do those. I want to know how to work where you work, because that's who that job is good for, the people who facilitate. Man, that's a great job. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I would, but I'd make it fun for the people if I could. They must have strict rules. But anyway, you're going to go on some kind of, you two are going to get put together somehow at work. And that's the part where I feel like we go, no. But it's going to open up the opportunity for you to actually kind of win them over, or at least mellow them down. And you're not going to have to do it to try like to do it. You're just going to, or convince them or confront them even. Absolutely, you should confront them if they do anything outlandish. All right. I think it was the previous group that, like, if they say something outlandish to you, you might also want to watch the Stoicism link that I'm putting in the description box of a video I found on YouTube that it just inspired the F out of me. And I really want you to watch it. So I'm not going to explain it because I feel like you guys are impatient with me. Maybe you're not. Maybe I'm impatient with myself. But I'll put that in the description box. Click on it and watch it. It's like how to handle somebody when they're just like outwardly disrespectful or inappropriate to you in public. It's sweet. It's going to make you want that to happen so that you can hit them with that. Anyway, you're going to go on some kind of an adventure. See the two little cats kind of meeting? I feel like your spirits are going to kind of meet each other. And here's the thing. Please don't think that I'm like, oh, this is a mutual problem between you. You know, if that's something that you know and you're like, no, it is, and I need to work on myself too, that's awesome. But like, I am totally willing to just be like, this is a them problem, not a you problem. And you're just dealing with it the best you can, and it sucks, right? There's going to be some kind of them meeting your spirit, like coming over to your side. See how that one's kind of waiting and that one's coming forward? That you're going to meet each other in that capacity, and they're going to mellow out. And the only thing you have to do when you're around them is just exude your confidence. And you might think, I don't have confidence. You might not be like a flashy, confident person, but I see you, and this goes for all of you in this group with this coworker situation. I see you going for all of the stuff that you want and just like doing what you need to do that day. Okay. And I feel like that bothers some people. Sorry, I had to yell at John. Anyway, he was out of line. I'm just kidding. I only had to yell at him because he's downstairs. But so anyhow, you're going to be stuck with this person. You're going to go on some kind of an adventure together, and all you have to do is exude confidence. You do you mind your business, and you do what you do well, especially at work. And so you're only following your own path, and that's part of what makes them so bleh, because they don't. All right. And so this forcing of togetherness could actually bring about healing for you with this person. If you're like, that's impossible, I've already talked to my supervisor. They're not allowed to be around me because I've already filed a complaint. Well, okay. If that's the case, you just need to show your confidence around them. Okay. And they're, and then I'm also going to give you the bottle spell where you put their name in a little bottle of salt water and you put it in the freezer and they just stop bothering you. Nothing bad happens to them. It's called the bottle spell. It's all over the internet. So, I don't remember where I learned that spell. I've known it for like over a decade. But if you just like Google the bottle spell, you'll find it. Who knows where it originated from? It works. So anyway, if you need to do something adventurous like that, because I feel like for some of you, being a spell worker would be a little bit adventurous, maybe a little scandalous. Like, I know people that are, very, very, in faiths that you would think wouldn't even the word spell would be like, Satan, you know? So, and they still do it. It's just your subconscious mind helping you. That's all it is, if anything else. Or it's your spirit guides helping you. It doesn't hurt them. They just like, they go on other adventures. There, that's what I wanted to say. That was where that card came in. I had it and then I lost it. Okay. So that is what I've got for you. So now we're going to come back collectively for all of you. Whew, you guys are really making me work. It's a mazy reading. There's so much stuff. All right, so first off, you were told to trust your intuition. Welcome back, guys. If you didn't watch all this craziness and just went to your sections of the reading within the pick a card reading, my goodness. I was just telling the third group that, man, you made me work for it today. So trust your intuition, what you feel is best, right? And then harmony and wisdom is what's coming down the pike. So for those of you that were in, I think, definitely group 3 and maybe group 1, I can't remember. So whichever group didn't have this in your reading, the bottle spell, just Google that if you like to do spells. It will help you with people that suck without hurting them. But see that little spells thing? It's so funny because I said that to you guys, and I don't usually tell spells on here, but here we are. Confirmation. See, I'm not totally crazy. I just like to talk like I am. And wisdom, you're gaining wisdom. So yeah, just follow the advice of each one of your sections that you had, you know, keep your clarity, keep standing up to people. That was for both of these, right? Table, keep your table from rolling away from you, right? Make wishes, manifest, talk to your creator, whatever brings about those things that you need, okay? And with that, I shall finally leave you all. Wow, this was involved, but super fun. So I appreciate you guys if you actually lasted this long. If this was helpful, golly, tell me how in the comment section. If you'd like, please give me some comments for the comment section. And give me topic ideas there as well. I'm sorry. You can't see what's happening right now, so just be glad. I'm trying to get out of here. If you'd like to book a private reading, there's ways to do so in the description box, my friends. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 2. So if you picked the silver balls, the sparkly. Let's go ahead and get into your reading all about who's giving you the evils. Who is your enemy right now? What are they up to? What should you do about them? Because, like, I'm pretty convinced. I thought my luck was just bad, but then I realized I'm probably not special. You know what I mean? And I think just there's always somebody in our life that's just there to flip and test us for some stupid reason. I'm sick and tired of lessons. School needs to be out. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm feeling that, I feel like maybe that's how you feel, because that's how my readings work. So you're in the right place if you're like, relatable. This little tree is just a little wiggly monster. I hope it doesn't distract you too much. It kind of distracts me a little bit. But hey, Christmas is right around the corner. And then we'll just move on to our regular winter themed cards. You're like, oh, the people that love summer are like, dang it, Miriam. And now, welcome to the cold, cold north. We're all quite mad here. Let's look and see what your person's doing and who they are. We'll just do a little check-in and then we'll figure out what to do about them. We have the King of Swords. Yikes, this could be somebody's boss. The 8 of Swords. Oh, look at all that money around her. That's not usually there in that, like, traditional cards. Definitely feeling the boss vibe now. 9 of Wands. Definitely feeling it now. Okay. and the Ace of Good Cheer or Ace of Cups. Okay. Good news, guys. Well, I mean, first off, your boss is a flippin' D-bag. Let's just say it. Like, wow. Let me know how big of a D-bag in the comment section if you can figure out a way to do it without getting fired. Just say mistletoe. All right, and I'll know what you mean. So, yeah, I feel like, King of Swords is all about like overcoming challenges, being very good at communicating, being very successful because of the overcoming challenges and good at communicating, but I'm definitely feeling that D-bag vibe of like he's kind of like, I don't like him. Like his like name is short for Richard. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what else to call somebody like that. I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm trying not to cuss on here. Let me know if you want me to start a cussing channel somewhere else. I'll let you know where I find one. So I think that'd be actually kind of funny. Just have a foul-mouthed version of Miriam the Mage, an uncensored Miriam the Mage, uncensored. Let's go. I'll do it. And just like one yes, and I'm there. just let me know. All right. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Like, I feel like maybe the whole place is kind of like he doesn't let anybody get away with like not feeling that like aggressive negativity from him. I'm picturing like that. And I hear he's a really nice guy when he's on the show, that Gordon Ramsay guy. Only not as fun. Just everybody's just just there to give him a problem that day, and he's constantly looking for like shortcomings. Maybe sparse on the praise, but might praise somebody in front of somebody else just to make them feel lower. Even it doesn't feel like as honorable as King of Swords usually. But I feel like a lot of people are fooled into thinking he's that way, and that's what sucks for all of you at work. Yeesh. Is there anything else besides work here? This is going to be a shorter reading than friggin' pile one if it is. They had 3 different scenarios in there. You could go there and do a whole nother pick a card as a bonus. I mean, seriously, go watch it. It's insane. Go watch it for fun because I sound ridiculous because I was dealing with so much. Okay, but anyway. It's hilarious. Go watch it. Like, completely goofy. Mazy. It could be on a blooper reel somewhere, but that's just how the channel is here. Which is what I love about it. But anyway. You feel like there's nowhere you can turn one way or the other because there's no pleasing this dude. I'm not feeling anything else besides work vibes. Thank God. This won't be as long of a reading. I'm fatigued. How many readings did you do? Oh, I did 6 instead of 3. Oh, yeah. So you are also affected somehow with your money. Like, I feel like no matter what you do, like maybe you can't get a raise. Or like no matter what you do, like you can't see your way forward with him. And like the 9 of Wands is like that feeling overwhelmed, feeling kind of like the traditional one is him standing guard and he's got like a bandage on his head because he's like been knocked to, wearing back, and like he looks all weary and tired and just wants it all to be over, but he has to stay there. That also is coming through. But your guides are saying that Ace of Cups is coming, which is very interesting because this is feeling very bleak so far. Like, here's the deal. How do we change a nasty boss? Like, I don't know if we can. Now I'm going to do my whole little legal spiel. Just because I used to work in the education field and we knew all about HR if we actually paid attention. But Know your rights, for one. Document anything that's shady. Please go read your manuals that you got in when you first got hired. And, see who's breaking rules when you're being made to feel miserable at work, okay? And I don't feel like all of you are miserable at work. I just feel like it's been going on for a while and like you're all just kind of sick of it, especially around this time for whatever reason. Like maybe they did something extra spicy lately and you're like, oh, a few. I don't know. So, but a cup of good cheer is coming, an ace of good cheer. So let's go ahead and get you some oracle cards. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go down the line and tell you how you need to handle each one of these situations. This is totally different from group one. I'm like losing it. And then we're going to get overall advice for how to get here. So this is how your guides are coming through. We have eclectic guides here today. Lucky me, keeping me on my toes, making me feel silly. All right, so with the boss in general, with not being able to feel like you can move forward in some way, or there's nowhere to turn, and also having the issues with the money, maybe not getting a raise, and feeling just beat down, burnout syndrome. And then give me some advice cards for how to get to the Ace of Good Cheer, please. Thank you. They've got a lot of advice for you, and I love it because that'll make it a longer reading. Woo! And the people that hate longer readings are like, no, please, no. Yes. Unfortunately. Just be glad there's not like 3 different groups of people in your pile, y'all. Like at this point, you could have bounced if like it wasn't, right on. Everybody else had to sit in that other group and just wait and wait and wait. Poor group 1. Okay, let's go ahead and see what to do with your boss overall. We have harmony. Do some of you get into this? Now this is interesting. This is just like a theme across the board because my guides were telling me to do this with group 1 and they showed me the same card to confirm I did the right thing. Google the bottle spell. The bottle spell. Okay. It's a thing that you do, doesn't hurt the other person. It just gets them to move on to other people to torture. Okay. Like if this person's been on you and like you're the useless worker of the month, like I feel like you all get your turn. But it's like your turn right now, and that's why you're like, do I just leave? I don't know what to do. I don't have enough money to leave. That's coming through too. I've been there. That rhymed. Merry Christmas. People rhyme a lot at Christmas time. Anyway. I'm going to say do the bottle spell and put his name in a little bottle of salt water and seal it up and put it in the freezer, and he will move on to other people as long as you believe it is so. It won't hurt him. Nothing negative is going to come to you because of it. It's just going to distract his attention from you. Okay? It's a very common little thing. Anybody can do it. I love spells that anybody can do because I'm lazy and I'm not about to go buy a bunch of stuff I'm allergic to and set it on fire in my house. I'm like the lamest witch ever. I'm just saying. For not knowing which way to go and having your finances like either impacting you from quitting or impacting you somehow because he won't give you a raise, that kind of thing. Sorry, I gotta be PC. It could be a lady boss. My bad. I forgot to mention that. I'm just feeling such strong male energy, so it's probably just most of them are a man. I don't know. Oh, clarity. So this indicates that clarity is coming. Maybe when you do that. What if they don't want to do that, Spirit? Is that like all their only option that they get to do? What else is coming? I guess we're just going to keep looking. Goddess. Man, they want you to do magic, these guides. So I'm just going to assume that you're into it. I'm going to give you some suggestions. If you're not into magic, I guess I mean, tarot cards are kind of magic, so I hate to break it to you there, but you know, what can I say? I'm just blunt. But I'm trying to get you here. And so let's go ahead and see, like, they want you to pray to the goddess. Maybe some of you do pray to, like, goddess and call it goddess, right? But pray to it. Oh, thank you, Spirit. They want you to pray to your God, your creator, with whichever name is the holiest to you. Interesting. So, you know, whatever their name might be, okay? Call out to it by name, they're saying. So they're still being very esoteric. They're still being very, we're doing some crazy spiritual stuff right now. So just take a deep breath and go with me here. If you dare. Call out to them to give you strength to get through this if you can't quit right now because of the finances. But they're saying clarity is coming. Is it just going to come to them? Can't hear you. Okay, I'm going to use my pendulum real quick. I'm going to pause so you don't have to wait. All right, good news. They're saying that clarity is just going to come to you somehow. You'll know it when you see it. I hate it when they do that to me because I'm like, oh, I need to know what to do. But just try to, you know, relax and be grateful that that's what they're saying, I guess. Like, let not your heart be troubled, even though it probably still will be. At least it would be if you were Mimi. Okay. They want you to just sit back and wait because clarity is coming to you. And they also threw in, you don't have to do a spell if you don't want to. But do call out on whatever your higher power is. Okay, even if that's just the strength of your own mind, you know. How do you connect to yourself when you don't have like an actual name of a creator you pray to? That's what I want to know. Is there anybody here that's like that? I'd love to know how you tick, because that would be fun. Okay, so how you're going to get here, no wonder they spit out all these cards. It's because they haven't quite told us what to do yet, have they? All right, we got white light. Good grief, they're just having a little spelling contest. Spelling meaning, you know what? Magic-y. We have hope. That's encouraging, I suppose. Devoted. Aw. That was just a very nice message of love from them. Light. Man, we have light, white light. Centered. Manifest. And evolve. Dang, they're saying do some weird, crazy spiritual work. However that feels good to you. So, when I got this deck of cards, I was so excited because that's literally what I picture around me when I'm trying to like protect myself. It's one of those little cake lids. I'm sure they have a fancier name than cake lids. Don't give me a hard time, Martha. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Who's Martha? Tell me who you are in the comments, Martha. Were you thinking that about me? I'm just kidding. That was just a random name I picked. I do it to be silly. You have hope coming towards you. So they're saying put whatever protective force around you. Remember how we were talking about doing the bottle spell? Whatever you do to ward off negativity. It's not silly. It's not superstitious. If you feel like it is, it's probably because you're just a very scientific person. And so then I'm just going to say to you, it's the healthiest thing to do with your brain rather than sit and worry. It's also healthy for all your other organs and just your overall psyche as well. So do whatever you need to do to help you feel protected, whether that's wearing your little magic charm, doing a little spell, saying a prayer, strategically getting things into position. That's weird, whatever that means. You're way more organized than me. I'm just like, be gone, you know, that's about it. But anyway, tell me what that's all about. yeah, just like bring your luck in, whatever it is. Like have your positive affirmations, do a meditation where things work out, you know, positive thinking, other stuff. There's EMDR exercises too for that. Look up EMDR. It's fun. It's not fun, but it's effective. All right. I do have one of those exercises that doesn't make me want to vomit. So the rest of them are pretty hardcore, but effective. So anyway, your guides are also saying they're here and they're devoted to you. Like they're watching out for you with this boss. It's almost like they're saying to just like cocoon yourself up and just wait for his gaze to go elsewhere, because I really honestly feel like he does this all the time to everybody. And maybe this is the first time for some of you that it was your turn and it feels awful. Or, you know, maybe it's been going on for a while and you just feel like he always circles back to you eventually. Okay. You need to start documenting that if it happens and then go to HR. He can knock it off. I'm just saying. I'm not a lawyer, but I at least know that, you know? And they're saying that like the dark is going to pass. Like I really honestly feel like something's going to pass with him, and you just need to think positively until you get there. And that's how you get to this like cheerful point, because manifesting is just putting your own energy into something, making something happen with your mind. And a lot of people do that through action. We have centered, so just staying centered within yourself, and that's going to help you evolve. I know for a fact that there's got to be at least one or two of you that are like, but I want to know what I need to do. And like, I know, like, it doesn't look like this person's going to change in some cases. And like, some of you don't have money to leave right now, etc. And I know that's not ideal, but they're showing you ways to protect yourself in the meantime to get to a better place. Bless you. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know what that is either. I'm feeling like I need to sneeze. Strong coffee, I guess. Anyway, smells good though, if I could smell. They're just really trying to get you to, purge out that letting him into your space too. That's coming through. Purge him out of you somehow, whether that's like doing a cord cutting ritual, a forgiveness ritual. You can look them up. There's lots of different kinds, or, set up a reading with me. I'll teach you all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, to save time, that's what they're saying you need to do. And I feel like a lot of you are action oriented, and this is like kind of outside of your comfort zone. So if it is, I want to get one more advice thing for them, Spirit. Please let it be strong advice so that they can get through this. 2 cards. Okay. Interesting. Sorry, I do these upright because they almost look like they're reversible, but they're not quite on the backs. They're saying lead with love and it'll bring you peace. So like, that's an interesting, for me, that's a hard concept because I don't love them, man. Quite the opposite, in fact. But it's like that detaching with love, which is a totally different concept. So if you thought you were getting out of here, hang in tight if you want one more lesson from your guides. I apologize for the noise if you can hear that. I've got my headphones in, so I can't tell. Detaching with love is not the same as putting up with. It's sort of like, God bless you, and walking away kind of situation. Not involving yourself emotionally with them as much as you possibly can. And so that's why your guides are saying to visualize these things. Actually visualize yourself under this little thing that his negativity can't get to you when you're around him. It's so good for your brain, even if you don't believe that it magically works. Okay. For those of you that think it could magically work, it really works. All right. So they're saying that's how, detaching with love and finding your peace that way. So look up detaching with love plus boss, right? Look up just what it means in general and have it help you understand, because it really is just like, bless your heart, and walking away. Totally emotionally. I know you can't always physically walk away from people, but emotionally getting out of their nasty little cycle that they put people in, because they like to drag people down to their level and to their level of misery as well. Yucky yuck. I'm sorry about that. You can dish about your boss in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Hang in there, my friends. I really feel like if you take these steps, it'll work more than you realize. Okay, if you are able to quit, I mean, just quit, like, or hang out until it gets better or until you can't deal with it anymore. But seriously, like, I know it's a different kind of reading, but I feel like your guides were really onto something there. So thank you for hanging out this long. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked this funny little wreath with this funny little guy on it, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but it cracks me up because it's so unintentional looking. Let's say that. Let's go ahead and get into who's bothering you. Maybe it's somebody who's bothering you unintentionally. Like they just like are unintentionally annoying, but at the same time, like this is who's like bothering you, like kind of gunning for you, doing the evil eye stuff around you, like an enemy. So interesting that that came into my mind, but it did. Maybe they can be both conniving and weirdly awkward and goofy. I know somebody like that. Okay. Let's do a check-in and see who this is. We have the Hermit. The 9 of Swords. The 6 of Cups. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so for everyone else in this last 2 groups, they actually got an extra card that was like, what are they supposed to do about it? So we're not going to get all of those. Well, now I'm going to have to pause. Okay, we've regrouped. Let's get you an advice card. Just one. We only need one. Thank you. Strength. All right. Sometimes I hate it when I get strength because I'm like, what, I have to do something? Do I have to do something? But you're strong, your guides are saying. So that is a message coming through. I honestly feel like this person, remember how I was saying like slightly awkward? Like the cards are showing that to me as well. So tell me the situation in the comments a little bit. Or like at least just tell me yes if it resonated with you. I see this like weird social awkwardness with this person, but they're still conniving in some way, or they still are able to make things, maybe they're like a weird tattletale at work kind of situation. Or some kind of awkwardness in like your professional life. It causes you anxiety sometimes because you never know what they're going to do. Your guides are saying like none of that's your fault, that it's just an unfortunate circumstance. Are they gunning for you? Hang on, I'm gonna do a few little yes nos on my pendulum real quick. Like they're saying they are kind of gunning for you, but like they're so socially awkward they don't know how to do that properly. Hang on, let's look at something else. This is a sibling situation. Okay, it might be some kind of a sibling situation as well. What else? I think it's causing some of you, see how he's kind of hanging back? It's like almost causing you to not want to go somewhere. Oh no, hang on, let me do another. Is this about in-laws? Or family? Clients? So I got a no for in-laws. I got a yes for like family, like siblings possibly. And then I got like this small town or small community thing, like just a really strange person that just shows up. Maybe they show up to your place of work as a customer. Maybe they are just everywhere you seem to go, like even to the point where you feel like they kind of stalk you a little bit, like not dangerously. Remember, if you ever feel like your life is in danger, you're being stalked for like, you know, real illegal reasons, like you need to go to the authorities, my friend, and get some help, start documenting, all that fun stuff. Don't use this reading as a way to deal with that, okay? So, disclaimer out of the way. Your guides are showing me that like this person causes you anxiety either just because they're so like obnoxious, they're so present, you don't know what they're going to do because they're so socially awkward, that it makes you feel like you don't want to go to the places where you run into them, even if it's a sibling or somebody that you're somehow an in-law maybe. Like they said no to in-laws, but like I'm feeling this like step siblings maybe. Okay, let me know. And they're showing the person is just not a very honorable, effective, socially kind of person. Like even if they're good at fooling everyone, which I don't even know if they are at this point. I mean, maybe they, let me check something. I'm going to ask if like they kind of, because they're kind of different, do they use that spirit to get like false sympathy and alliances against people that they're actually trying to victimize themselves? Yes, I hope you heard me say that because I'm not going to be able to say it like that again. Thank you, Spirit. Run it back. Holy heck. Anyway, yeah, that's, everyone can manipulate. Everyone's capable of that. We're humans, right? So even if this person's like very different, like to the point where people actually think that they're, they need help, or whatever, it's medical or what not, they can still like do things that are, not honorable, okay? The Strength card is saying that you don't need to worry about them, like overall. They're not going to actually like be able to put harm on you unless you've actually been threatened by somebody. And in that case, you should have stopped this right now and called the police. Getting that disclaimer out of the way. Those guys are not part of this reading right now because they need some other kind of help. Just in case. All right. Disclaimer out of the way. So, yeah, they're just so like awkward that I think they kind of use that to their advantage, like to the point where like maybe some people are like, "Oh, that's mean. You shouldn't be mean to them because they're awkward." And you're like, I'm not being mean. I'm setting boundaries. Like nobody has a right to say inappropriate stuff to me or whatever it is that they're doing that's inappropriate. I don't feel like you're overreacting, and I don't feel like you are being unreasonable just because they're socially awkward, okay? So trust yourself there. That's definitely confirmation. Your guides are showing that you're smarter than them in a lot of different ways, like even if they had normal capacity, you would still be smarter than them, because you actually conduct your life in a more decent way, okay? And so, and this person might just be like enigmatic in some way, or like, just kind of, what do you call it? Eccentric, I wanted to check one other thing. And for some of you, it does feel like it might even be like a person in authority or a boss, which is awful. Maybe not a boss, like maybe like a like a psychiatrist you have to see, or you know what I'm talking about, or like a doctor you have to go to, that kind of feeling, like somebody in authority or a boss that like affects your life, and you know they're kind of like not competent enough to do so because A, they're kind of conniving, and B, they like have like zero social skills for some reason. And it's been really hard for you dealing with them, and you're kind of wondering like how far they're going to take it with you and how much damage they're going to do. That's what I'm getting from this group, I think. Okay, so let me write all these down. So yeah, this idea that you have also, if it's like a customer or a client, we kind of had that roll in, A, with the client call, and then, you know, like, yeah, I think I said a customer showing up all the time, you know, and you kind of feel like they show up just to bother you, you know. Your guides are saying that you have authority over them in the sense, for some of you, that you could actually like make a complaint if you needed to and possibly have them removed. For some of you, not all, but some. So there is that option for some of you. And it never hurts to ask around. So your strength is what's going to get you through it. They're saying that really there's nothing for you to worry about. This person is always going to kind of be around. But this is so bonkers. This is group 3 that I'm getting another message of telling you to do the bottle spell. I don't like usually doing bottle spells or spells at all on my YouTube channel for tarot, but if your guides want you to know about that spell, here we go. Yeah, you can Google it or just hear me say, you put their name on a slip of paper, stick it in salt water, put it in a freezer, and leave it there. And that person will usually lose interest in you, find somewhere else that they can turn their attention to. So that's coming through. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to do the advice for the scenario overall so that I'm not going through the siblings, person who is always around, whether it's a client or whether it's just somebody that's kind of around because you live in like close quarters to them in some way. I think I said siblings. And I think that was all we had. Oh, bosses. Thank you. Bosses are people that are in a position of authority over you. Okay. That was the message all the way at the beginning of this for the collective group. Okay. Okay. So let's get into these. Scooch them up so you can see. I'm running out of room. Okay. So the main thing your guides want you to know about this situation, unless you've already been told to go call the police, you know who you are. They are being very reassuring that this person isn't going to get any worse than they already are. That the bottle spell will help you, for those of you comfortable enough with doing a bottle spell or doing some kind of a, you know, very meditative prayer or some kind of like cord cutting to just try to get this person to lose interest in you. Okay. And that's across the board, whether it's your boss, whether it's any of the others. Okay. It's effective for all and is the healthier thing to do with your brain at the time. So they're saying to go ahead and manifest that. All right. They're saying that your anxiety, a lot of it is you don't know how to be around this person because they're so awkward and strange. And so you are being told that your best course of action is just to be your authentic self. If they say something off the wall weird, just say, I don't understand what that means. And then document it. If they start like, if it's your boss and they start trying to make it seem like you're being difficult, just document what you said, you know, in the conversation, and document what you said so that people understand when they see it. oh yeah, that's weird. I wouldn't know what to say to that either. You know, that kind of energy. But just be, you know, if that makes me uncomfortable, maybe don't say that to me. You know, those kinds of declarations are going to be important for you as you move forward through this. They're saying a light bulb is going to come on for some of you. For those of you that are hesitant to go into the sphere where this person is all the time, it's hard because you always have to at some point or another, given your situations. They're saying that light is coming to breathe and try to relax and to detach with love. This is another message we got from one of the other groups. Detaching with love is not excusing them for their behavior, but it's just like emotionally detaching yourself from getting upset by their behavior, knowing that they're going to do it, not personalizing it even when they try to personalize it with you, and just thinking of the sense of this is just where we kind of ended up. Like this person had to end up somewhere and they ended up here. Okay. It feels that strange. How strange. I would love to see your individual situations or maybe hear about them. I don't know if I want to see it because that person might want to latch on and be my friend, because people like that usually do. The strange, socially awkward, conniving types. I don't know what else to say about it. It's like, ay. They're showing luminosity coming in the sense of practicing these strategies. So like these are the tools that you have, because it's not like telling this person off is going to get them to go away. And if they're not doing something illegal towards you, like actually stalking you, etc., you know, what else can you do? I would like to put out there, if this is a work situation, like a customer or a client coming in, I would talk to your boss or somebody and say, hey, this is getting kind of to the ridiculous point when it comes to communicating with this person. And with that, I shall leave you. Tell me how this was helpful in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do that in the description box. Group 3, thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Group 3. It's been a crazy day. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. You got an extra card. I think I know what we're going to do with it, but it depends on what it is. So let's look and see who is evil-eyeing you or being an enemy to you right now. We have Knight of Good Cheer. Uh-oh. 8 of Wands. Wheel of the Year or Wheel of Fortune. The Magician. And 8 of Good Cheer, 8 of Cups. Okay. So first off, I don't know why I get these images of people who go to church. But if you go to church, you should tell me. I don't know if like anybody that goes to church watches pick-a-card readings, like for tarot readings, but I'm seeing like maybe you don't go to church with this guy, but maybe this is just a churchy guy. Dude, this is like turning into, I might do a little parenthesis in the title, like lots of boss readings came up. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. This could be somebody's boss. I'm going to start jotting these down one at a time, so I'll have to go back and figure it out. I'm getting better at this now that we're on the last pile of cards. Let's just say you probably noticed when you clicked on this reading, it's been a long reading for pretty much everybody, especially Group 1. Whew. And if you were somebody tuning into both, how are you? You feeling all right? There's a lot of stuff. Okay. Is there somebody else here that, besides this churchy guy I'm seeing? Are we absolutely sure? Could he be represented in a different way besides churchy? So squeaky clean individual. Squeaky clean appearance, yes, but not really deep down in his soul. And maybe even in some of his dealings. Okay. They actually say deep down in his soul there's hope for this person. You might be like, Rubbish. Well, not with this attitude that he's rocking, that's for sure. But they're actually showing hope for this person, so he's not totally lost. But they're saying he does shady dealings outside of what he's doing here. Spirit, could this go either way with... And it could be either gender, like male, female. Okay. So somebody that acts squeaky clean, but they're not. And I did get boss energy. Some kind of community orientation, like church, if it's not church, you know? Like charity is coming to mind. Somebody who actually charitable, but they're kind of a greaseball. And you're onto them, but not a lot of other people are onto them yet, maybe. Let's look and see. Or is anyone onto this person? Okay, I'm getting a yes to that. So I don't feel like they're like in a place of authority over you or have power over you. I do feel like they're kind of around you a lot. And that's kind of the part that's just kind of annoying. And like they've got kind of, and part of why you feel that way is because they don't have good feelings towards you. And the reason why they don't is because you're on to them. You know that they're not the sweetie pie cupcake that they put themselves off as. Ew, I hate people like this. Okay. What's looking like the messages across the board here for some of you, and I'll try to go back in and see if it's that cut and dry for everyone else, because this is really good news. Fast change, lucky for you. Maybe you've manifested this, or the universe just has your wishes in agreement with what its plans are, because it looks like the solution to the problem, which was the 5th card for most of the readings. There was always a solution card that we used, at least. Okay. This person is going to leave. So like they might quit the organization that you're around them in, or go off somewhere. Maybe they're going to go off and do some awesome charity, big, something really big, so that they can brag even more about how awesome they are and just soak up their own awesomeness. Ugh. So congratulations to those of you that's coming down the pike, because that's probably about as good as news as you can get. Let me know when they're gone. we can toast a little celebration to you. And as he's leaving, he hears you all celebrating. He's like, I've never seen them like this before. Denial can be an ugly thing. What movie's that from? You guys gotta start getting on the movie thing. I'm gonna start assigning movies. I do a Patreon, but that's like what you have to do instead. Instead of paying, you have to quote a bunch of movies and prove to me, do movie reports, prove to me that you watched that movie and understood it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Advice. Oh my gosh, you cannot make this up, y'all. You cannot make this up. Huh. Yeah, they're kind of just being more reassuring. And there's one more. I'm just going to leave that over here so you can't see it. It'll be a surprise, like a little Christmas bonus, even though this is a timeless reading. Let me know if you're watching this in July. Let me know if it gave you the warm, fuzzy Christmas feeling. All right. I've been using these cards all month, and I wish I could use them for another 3. But don't worry, I have other winter-themed cards, because it's winter here until March. So get into it if you like winter, because we're going to keep using these cards that are winter-themed. All right, so anyway. I knew this was going to happen, but it's one of those cliche things where you're like, this is not going to happen. And then it keeps happening. And you saw me live shuffle this. Every group has either gotten this card, or I was told by your guides to tell you about the bottle spell. So if you've got a person like this in your life that kind of they focus it on you because you've called them out, or they're fixated on you in some other, you know, sort of negative way. It can even work for people who like are fixated on you in a positive way for them, and it's not so positive for you because you're just not that into them. You know what I'm talking about. You just stick their name in a little bottle of salt water on a little scrap of white paper, seal up the top, put it in your freezer. As long as you focus on 3 succinct deals, like images of them just forgetting all about you in some way and moving on to something else, they will. If it doesn't work, it's because you're hanging on to them for some reason. But I doubt that's going to be the case with this person. I'm not feeling any attachment to this person other than just the attachment of, or the energy drain of them being so obnoxious to have to be around. And kind of being, I don't know, a little bit bothersome to me in, like, I feel like because they know that you are onto them, it's almost like they are kind of like waiting for their chance to like get you, you know? It doesn't feel like that's going to happen before they move on, or something's going to happen. Like maybe this moving on isn't them actually physically leaving. Maybe this moving on is them looking around and realizing they have like all these opportunities, sort of like 7 of Cups, to like go like F with someone else. And like, sorry to the person who has to deal with that, but maybe that's the lesson they have to learn this week. Just like you had to learn it when they came into your life. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's how they somehow serve a purpose, even though they suck. I can say whatever I want. It's my channel, you know what I'm saying? I have to be nice to this. I have to be nice to this clown. All right. The wish card, yes. Okay, this card very much speaks to me as your wish coming true, so I'm just going to spoil the ending there for you. You're wiser than this person. You have more luck coming towards you than this person. They're going to either focus away from you or go away entirely. So your guys just really keep saying this over and over again to reassure you that you're not going to have to deal with the irritation much longer, is what it's looking like. So let me know when that ends for you in the comment section. That would be awesome. Let's see what their overall closing advice is. Energy. Okay. So what they're saying with this card is that to fully get this person to kind of go out of your energy entirely so that they don't affect your mood and you get to that blissful energy that I kind of glossed over. I gotta go answer this client. Okay. I was saying you are also a good manifester, and if you're not wanting to do something to like kind of turn their will to a different way, if you're not comfortable with that, then you can always like pull your energy back to you. Okay. However you do that, and that's if you're doing affirmations, if you're doing, letting go visualizations, cord cutting visualizations, whatever works for you. It can be done lots of different ways. The power of it is in your mind, and so it has to be something that you feel like you can do, something that makes you bring about change through like visualization or whatever. Okay. That's basically an essential way of explaining how magic in general works. It's actually kind of scientific. It's pretty much just the power of positive thought and imagination that somehow makes things kind of turn out for the best for the person that's imagining them that way. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Your reading is so much shorter than everybody else's. It's like everybody else had like weird stuff coming through. Well, and it took me a long time to get to... Yeah, they're saying breathe. I feel like... I was like, is this person anxious? And they're like, no, they're angry, maybe. This card came out for you guys in the collective in the beginning. So they're repeating that message. So just remember to breathe. Oh. You'll have reason to rejoice soon. I love this picture. It is so pretty. And And tranquility is coming. So you're going to get there. Like for so many of you, I feel like this person's just going to kind of forget about you, or they're going to kind of go someplace else. So do the bottle spell if it makes you feel like you can get there faster, and if you're comfortable with that, or do other affirmations and visualizations or whatever prayers that you do to try to make things happen in your favor that we don't actually have physical control over. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, let me know how it works out for you, or if they go somewhere. Yeah, that slid off the top right there at the end. So they're saying what I was too PC to say. All right, so if this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you for being here, group 4. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.